Hey guys, you're probably watching this throwing demo because you purchased a boomerang from me. And if you didn't, please visit my website, rebelboomerangs.com, where you can get some good information about boomerangs. Okay, the first thing we need to talk about are the safety rules. You receive these with your throwing instructions. You need to read these, know these, and exercise these at all times. If you misplaced your throwing instructions, you can get a copy of them from my website, rebelboomerangs.com. If you can't follow these rules, please contact me to make arrangements to return your Rebel boomerang for a full refund. If you're planning on throwing your boomerang today, what type of weather conditions do you have? You never want to throw your boomerang in the rain or if the ground is wet, and you certainly don't want to throw your boomerang on windy days. If the wind's blowing more than 8 miles an hour, it's too windy. This would be a good day to go fly a kite. To find out the current wind speeds, check out your throwing instructions. I listed a website there that gives you up-to-the-minute wind speeds throughout your state. You also want to refer to your throwing instructions to see what wind conditions are best for your boomerang. Now that you know and understand that information, let's talk about how to grip your boomerang. You want to grip your boomerang from the bottom of the arm. There are two different types of grips. You have the pinch grip that looks like this, and you have the four-finger grip that looks like this. If you're throwing a dual blade boomerang, you can hold the dual blade boomerang by the dingle arm with the elbow pointing forward, or by the leading arm with the elbow pointing backwards. Doesn't matter, it's a personal preference. Switch between the two arms and see which one works best for your throwing style. If you're throwing a tri-blade boomerang, doesn't matter which arm you hold it by, you can throw it by any arm. What does matter is whether the top or the bottom of the boomerang is facing you. The top of the boomerang is the side that's painted, has the airfoils and curved edges on it. The bottom of the boomerang is the side that's unpainted and it's flat. You want to hold your boomerang so that the painted side is facing you. Now, I'm a right-handed thrower, so when I hold the boomerang, I hold it like this. Okay, the painted side is facing me. Again, the painted side faces me, the unpainted side faces away. If you're a left-handed thrower, then you want to hold it so that the painted side faces you, unpainted side faces away. So that's how you hold your boomerang. Now let's talk about throwing your boomerang. There are 5 main factors that will affect your throw. The first factor is stance. When you throw your boomerang, you never want to have your feet together. You're not going to get the power you need to make that throw. Let's take a look at the proper stance. As a right-handed thrower, you need to stand so that your left foot is in front and your right foot is in back. When you throw your boomerang, you want to step into that throw. Just like a pitcher steps into his pitch, you want to step into that throw. If you're a left-handed thrower, you want to have your right foot in front and your left foot in back. You lefties are going to do the same thing we just talked about. When you throw that boomerang, you're going to step into that throw. Remember, you never want to stand with your feet together. You're not going to get the power you need to make that throw. The second factor is spin. Your boomerang needs to spin in order for it to fly properly. The best way to get your boomerang to spin is by snapping your wrist at the end of your throw. Let's think about other sports where you need to snap your wrist to get better results. If you've ever thrown darts, at the end of that throw, there's a snap in your wrist. If you've ever thrown a ball, at the end of that throw, there's a snap in your wrist. And if you've ever gone fishing, when you cast a fishing rod, at the end of that cast, there's a snap in your wrist. Depending on the grip you're using, the snap in your wrist is similar to those sports I just mentioned. If you're using the pinch grip, the snap in your wrist is similar to when you throw dart. And if you're using the four-finger grip, the snap in your wrist is similar when you cast that fishing rod. The third factor is angle to the wind. The first thing you need to do is to determine which way the wind is blowing. You can use some grass clippings to do this. Just drop some grass clippings and see which way they're blowing. Or you can use a wind tracker as I do. I got it right behind me. I like to use the wind tracker for a couple reasons. One, it gives me a marker so I'm not moving all over the field when I throw my boomerang. It also gives me constant wind tracking. If the wind changes, I can see it and make directional adjustments. For this demonstration, let's assume that the wind is blowing towards me. I'm a right-handed thrower, so in order for me to throw my boomerang, the angle to the wind, I need to turn 45 to 90 degrees to the right of the wind. If I'm a left-handed thrower, wind's blowing towards me, I need to turn 45 to 90 degrees to the left of the wind. You want to throw your boomerang across the wind, okay? This will help your boomerang come back. The fourth factor is tilt angle. We know that 90 degrees is vertical, but when I throw my boomerang, depending on the style of boomerang that I'm throwing, I need to throw it somewhere between 80 to 90 degrees to the right or left of vertical, depending on which hand I throw with. You never want to throw your boomerang like a frisbee. If you throw your boomerang like a frisbee, it's going to swoop up real fast and dive back at you. You can get hurt this way, and most likely you're going to break your boomerang. Let's think of a clock. No, not a digital clock. One of those old clocks with numbers wrapping around in a circle, an analog clock. If you're looking at the clock and the number 12 at the top is vertical or 90 degrees, then if you're a right-handed thrower, you would need to have your boomerang pointing somewhere between 12 and 2. Pointing to the 1 is probably ideal. If you're a left-handed thrower, you need to have your boomerang pointing somewhere between the 10 and the 12. Pointing to the 11 is probably ideal for you lefties. I'm going to turn around and give you a demonstration of this. Right-handed throwers, you want to have your boomerang pointing like this. That's your tilt angle for a right-handed thrower. Left-handed throwers, you want to have your boomerang like this. That's your tilt angle for left-handed throwers. Experiment with this and see which tilt angle works best for your throwing style. The fifth factor is height of throw. You can't throw your boomerang like you would throw a baseball to a catcher. If you do this, it's going to end up in the dirt. You need to throw your boomerang about 10 to 20 degrees above the horizon. The best way for me to describe this to you is let's pretend you're standing on the free throw line of a basketball court, looking up at the basketball net. You would want to throw your boomerang so that it would hit the rim of the basketball net. Again, this is something that you're going to want to experiment with because some boomerangs like to be thrown higher, some boomerangs like to be thrown lower, but this is a good starting point. So that wraps up throwing your boomerang. Now let's talk about catching your boomerang. When you catch a boomerang, you never want to try to catch a boomerang that's around your head. You only want to try to catch it when it's below your shoulders. If you try to catch a boomerang that's around your head and you miss it, it's going to hurt. You also never want to try to catch a boomerang that's diving towards you or coming back to you fast. Just move out of the way, let it go by you. The only time you want to try to catch a boomerang is when it's coming back to you slow. Should look like this, like it's almost running out of speed, or if it's hovering down to you slow. Best way to try to catch your boomerang for a beginner is to use the clap. What you want to do is you want to put one hand above the other. When that boomerang comes back, you want to clap your hands down over that boomerang. So it should look like this, okay? Boomerang's coming back, you want to use the clap. Clap your hand over the boomerang. This is the easiest way to try to catch a boomerang. Okay guys, now I'm going to throw my boomerang so that you can see the whole process in action. I don't have someone videoing this. I have the camera sitting on a tripod, so I can't have someone track the boomerang for you, but hopefully I'll get a good throw that will bring the boomerang back into the viewing area so you can see me catch it. I'm going to adjust my camera so that you can view this just as though you were standing behind me. Hey guys, if you notice, I'm in a different location right now because it's later in the evening. Earlier today, when I was filming, it was a little too windy to be throwing your tri-blade boomerang. So now I'm going to give you a demonstration of the tri-blade flying so that you can see what that looks like when you throw it. So we're going to do the same thing. You're going to see it from behind as if you were right behind me so that you can see the proper way to throw your tri-blade boomerang. If you look at our wind tracker, there really isn't any wind. This is the type of day that you want to throw this. You can throw this, when it has a little bit of wind, but this is the perfect day to throw it. So let's take a look at it. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps you out. Please check out my website. There's a lot of great information there, including a boomerang tips page, which has some common throwing errors and how to avoid them, along with a troubleshooting page that gives you some illustrations of some common throwing errors. While you're there, check out the game page, which has a list of boomerang games that you can play. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have many happy returns.